Alright, hey there. Coming in with another basic lesson. This kind of lesson is the sort I'd give to somebody who's interested in lead guitar playing with a pick. So what I'm going to look at is how to start developing alternate picking. So most people, untutored, they'll pick all downstrokes. Furthermore, they'll have their hand floating, so that means the only point of contact between the arm and the body is, say, here. So it's kind of what you call floating. So that actually requires more muscle control and precision. So what we want to try and do is two things. First, you want to try and get you to anchor your hand. So this lets you relax. It also lets you move less. And secondly, the whole idea of alternate picking is saving energy, getting more for less. So rather than just doing downstrokes and then rechambering and doing another downstroke and so forth, which is good if you want that sound, after a downstroke comes an upstroke, comes a downstroke, comes an upstroke. So let's get close in on that action. I just point out I use a thumb pick that's cut so it works like a plectrum, but it's pretty much doesn't make much difference. The one thing I will say, if you're doing alternate picking, hold the pick as close to the tip as possible. This will speed you up. So yeah, less pick showing, minimum amount of pick showing, and move as little as possible. All right. So the next question is where to anchor your hand. So what I'm going to say is just sit your palm on the bridge. Not necessarily on the strings, although you can do that for a palm muted sound. But you can just sit it back. So that means you're picking this kind of area, and that's good because it's fairly stiff. It means that the pick's not going to give much. You're not going to lose much energy. So more of the displacement, the string's going to get displaced more. So you have to have quite a decisive picking motion for this. I'd also recommend that you use a fairly hard pick. A floppy pick is just going to bend and it's not going to transmit that much energy. So you want control here. So anchor your hand, and then on the E string just play 1, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And you just have a decisive snapping motion. That angle, if you can see it. And you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on each string in succession. And like so, you just 8 notes each string, then change, and you're after a decisive snap with each string. Now it's best if you do this to a drum machine or a metronome. Sadly, my metronome has no battery right now, so I'm not using it, but then I can keep time reasonably well. 7, 8, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth. And what you're trying to do is gradually ramp up the speed so you get more of this kind of thing. All the movement that I'm doing here is coming from the wrist. There are other ways to pick, but that's how I'm recommending you do it. And eventually you should be able to approach increase the speed. Now you can do different numbers of notes. You could do groups of 4. Groups of 3. Well, let's keep it simple. Groups of 2. So when you change string, the first stroke is always a downstroke. Now I didn't introduce triplets there because that would mean you had down, up, down, and then you change string, you'd have up, down, up, which is a little bit more difficult. So just concentrate on getting even units, and just practice open strings only, and don't think about it for too much. You know, it's a few minutes a day. Do it for a month. Keep pushing the envelope, and it'll start to develop your picking technique so that you can integrate it. Okay, so yeah, in the next lesson I will show you how to integrate it with the previous exercise in order that you're starting to integrate alternate picking with your left hand fingering. Alright, take it easy, and good luck.